Welcome to Scrapbook My Life, where I tell you an embarrassing story to save you from making the same embarrassing mistakes I did. Why does it feel like you're not allowed to ask if something's a date? If someone invites you to a party, you ask if it's a birthday party. You have to know whether or not you should bring a present. This is the story of how I learned you can also ask if a hangout is a date. I was in science class, innocently measuring the circumference of a fossil, when my lab partner, Ryan, asked if I wanted to see Gnome Party after school with him. We both loved gnomes. I said yes right away and went back to measuring. But then it hit me. Ryan and I had hung out in a group before, but never like one-on-one, and never at the movies. Was this a date? I almost dropped the fossil. I liked Ryan, but I didn't like Ryan. Did I just accidentally agree to go on a date with him? Instead of asking Ryan what he meant, I spent the rest of the day totally freaking out. This was the first time I was going to the movies alone with a boy, and I had no idea if it was a date. Nothing my friend said really helped, but I calmed down a little when Katie told me I could text her the whole time if I wanted to. My mom dropped me off at the movie theater right after school. Ryan met me outside. I was relieved when he cracked a few jokes like we always do in science, but then he opened the door for me. This felt like at least a yellow flag that this was a date. It got worse. He bought my ticket. Now this was absolutely a red flag. I couldn't focus on anything that Ryan was saying. All I could think about was how to nicely tell him that I liked him, but I didn't like him like that. And oh no, what if he tried to put his arm around me during the movie? On top of everything else, I didn't stop at home between school and the movie, which meant that I couldn't brush my teeth, which meant that my breath still smelled like the garlic chips I'd eaten at lunch. I didn't have a crush on Ryan, but I also didn't want him to think I was totally gross. We sat down, and the trailer started playing. I needed help. What was I supposed to do if Ryan tried to hold my hand or something? I frantically texted Katie. He totally has a crush on me, and also my breath stinks, sad face. I hit send and put my phone away. The movie started. Slowly, my panic melted away. Everything was very normal. Ryan pretended to put a sour string up his nose and didn't even get close to putting his arm around me. By the time the lights turned on at the end of the movie, Ryan and I were laughing about the sour string, and I had totally forgotten about that text I sent Katie. But then, Ryan looked down. Suddenly, he wasn't laughing. Out of nowhere, he said, "I think you're cool, but I don't have a crush on you." What? No. How did he know that I thought that? I looked at my phone and looked at my texts. I had been so nervous that I accidentally sent that text to Ryan instead of Katie. My face felt like it was 1,000,000 degrees. I apologized over and over again. Ryan just laughed. But just so you know, your breath does stink. It turned out that Ryan had bought my ticket because his uncle gave him a gift card. But I didn't hear that because I was so busy panicking. And Ryan had asked me to see Gnome Party with him, not as a date, but just because we both liked gnomes. Ryan and I ended up going to the movies together a lot. It was never a date, he was just my friend. He happened to be a boy, but that wasn't a big deal. He did tease me about my garlic breath, though, for the rest of the year. If you don't know if something's a date, you can always just ask. It's a lot better than freaking out, sending a text to the wrong person, and totally embarrassing yourself for no reason.